Hey all, my name is Kurt and I'm here with Trenton. Welcome to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar and happy Memorial Day to each and every one of you out there.
Yeah.
I hope you're able to get away from work at least a little bit, spend some time with family and friends, maybe some cookouts or whatever you want to do. Trenton, I think we should probably cook out a bunch of hamburgers or something.
You know I don't like burgers. I don't eat hamburgers. I haven't had a burger in... I can't say that I haven't. I've probably had 2 burgers in the last... How old am I? 26? 19 years.
When did that start? There was something...
I got sick off of a Culver's butter burger.
That's right.
And I have not
That's
had
right.
many
it was
burgers
Culver's, wasn't it, honey?
He was like 8 years old, I think.
Yeah.
And you've held that grudge this long?
Yeah.
Are you serious, babe? 8 years old?
Same thing with like puffy Cheetos and those like sugar cookies with like the colored icing on it. Don't do those 3 foods.
You shouldn't have told me all that. Next time you come over for a cookout, it's going to be hamburgers, puffy Cheetos,
and
sugar cookies.
I'll toss it in the fire. If we have a fire, that is.
All right, all joking aside, boy, we just want to give out as many props as we possibly can to our vets that are out there that are active, non-active, all the ladies and gentlemen that have served or are serving for our country, and especially on Memorial Day here today as we honor our fallen soldiers. I mean, it's something, Trenton, honestly, that grips me every time I think about it. And I know it's a cliche, but freedom isn't free, buddy.
Yep.
Freedom isn't free. It took a lot of people to lay their lives on the line so we could even be doing what we're doing here. True. Honestly.
Yeah.
So
well said.
Thank you to each and every one of you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Trenton, I have saved this video for quite some time. Okay. I've had a lot of people ask us to review Horse Soldier Bourbon.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
A big number of people. And I was gonna get it together. I actually bought this bottle from Harry a little while ago too, to finish the core releases from Horse Soldier. But I thought, let's do it on Memorial Day. This particular company was started by veterans.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to read a little bit off my phone because I want to do it justice for these guys. And I don't want to try to remember details and things like that, but I've got something on my phone that I saved here.
We can pull it up on the teleprompter if you want.
Do we have one?
No, we don't have a teleprompter.
Here's our teleprompter.
Old school teleprompter.
Yeah, but I want to give these guys props, and I don't want to butcher it. You know what I mean? And I know if I try to remember things, and somehow I'm going to butcher it. So it'll only take just a few seconds, so bear with me, please. In the days after the events of September 11, 2001, a group of Special Operations officers answered their nation's call to defend it. These officers soon found themselves riding horseback in a Green Beret insertion in northern Afghanistan to fight the Taliban. These men are honored at the America's Response Monument at Ground Zero and have been given the nickname Horse Soldiers.
That's really cool.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
That's a cool story.
Yeah, so these guys started this company. They have a distillery, American Freedom Distillery.
Okay.
All right. Now, they are distilling some of their own product.
Oh, cool.
I don't know where it starts and stops at, but I know they're also sourcing from Middle West.
Okay.
So I don't know if all of it's sourced from Middle West yet, or if there's some that's there or some that's not. But they do have a pretty big distillery going on.
Where is the distillery?
It's in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay. Cool.
My bad. I should have mentioned that. Yeah, St. Petersburg,
How could you
Florida.
leave that out?
My bad. My apologies. I'm trying to remember everything here. We had a long night last night.
Yes, we did. I lost.
Yes, we did.
We're not going to talk about that. So I hope you did all your homework because I was actually given a bottle of one of these bottles from one of my buddies, and I believe he gave me the copper one. What is this, like 87 proof? I think he gave me this one.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And this was pretty early on in my bourbon journey. And I honestly can't say that I remember a whole lot. I know it's in a box somewhere. Right. I got down to about half, so I must have enjoyed it enough to actually drink a little bit more than the neck of it.
Good.
But it's been probably a couple of years since I tried it.
Well,
so I'm excited.
I'm excited too because I haven't had any of it. Honestly, I haven't had none of it. You gonna be all right? Choke down too much grass today while you're mowing?
Yeah. Got it in my eyeballs, my hair, my throat. It was bad.
Well, what they've got, Trent, what their offerings are is they got their straight bourbon, small batch, and barrel strength.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with the first one. I'm going to go with the lower proof first, which you said is 87 proof. The bourbon here is between 2 and 4 years of age.
Okay.
It's at least 2 years. They say between 2 and 4. This is
like
Yep. Okay. All the glasses are right behind
Screw me up again like last time.
I'm trying to keep consistent. I'm trying to do it. This is a high rye. This is 30% rye.
Okay.
So it's a high rye mash bill.
I don't think I've had many high rye mash bills that are at like a lower proof, like 87.
True.
So that'll be interesting.
Okay. Another good thing I like about a Trent is non-chill filtered. Okay. And I believe all of them are. Correct me if I'm wrong on that in the comments, but I know this one states it on the bottle. I'm not sure I found it on these two.
How much is this
But
one?
I think they're all non-chill filtered. That one there is going to run you about $50, give or take. Okay. I think it was a few bucks less, just $46, $47 in Harry's at B Liquors.
Smells pretty nice. It's a little light.
A little light, sure. Yeah. A little light on the nose. You know, you got 87 proof.
Light sugar.
Yep, sugary, a little bit of caramel.
And I like breathed. I like shot all the air or the nose air into the glass and then trying to inhale it back again, and it didn't go too well.
You know, you're lucky you got glasses. Have you ever done that where it came back at you and your eyes start watering a little bit? I've done that.
Yes, even with glasses on, it'll like flow around the lens.
I've done that plenty of times. That seems pretty nice.
Ooh. All right. You said they might be sourcing from Middle West, or is that like actually public?
I knew
knowledge?
they were. I know they were.
Okay.
Because I read it. I just don't know currently if they're sourcing and using their distillate, or if it's all their distillate now. I'm not sure where it stops and starts at. But I know Middle West was involved.
What do you think?
You know, I don't think it's bad at all for an 87 proof.
Yeah.
You know, it's a small operation at this point, I would assume.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm you know how I operate, Trent. I'm thinking a price point.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a tough sell for me for the price point. Mm-hmm. It's a cool story, and I know that, again, like we've said this before, sourcing is not cheap. So that's if they are sourcing 2 year, and also getting an operation off the ground is also not cheap.
Yeah,
they're pouring like hundreds of thousands, if not millions, into starting something. Yeah, so that's cool. And I'll let you actually talk about what you're tasting first, because I'm not as good with the low proof stuff, and I'd be interested to kind of hear what your thoughts are.
I am getting a little bit of caramel, a little bit of vanilla, but I'm also getting some young grains. You know, there are some young grains. I don't really find a super astringent oak note in there, but there's a light astringent note in there for me, a light one. I don't get any deep and dark flavors, which you wouldn't expect from that proof point. You know, hopefully we'll find some of that in this barrel strength over here. Yeah. You know, but I think it's rather pleasant for what it is.
Yeah. I think it's pretty well balanced. There's not a ton of, like you said, not a ton of flavor development, not a lot of dark flavors kind of in your face. Mm-hmm. Very well balanced. My only kicker, or my only issue is the price.
Yeah.
Past that, like, I probably wouldn't, if I was at somebody's house and they were like, hey, try this.
Right.
I would drink a decent amount of it.
Yeah.
But it's not something I'm going to go buy after this video just for the price. It's a little too much for what you're getting, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I can't disagree with that.
Good attempt, though.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think it's pretty good. Let's move on. Small batch. All right. This one's going to be roughly about $60. I think Harry's is a couple bucks less on this one, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
95 proof.
All right.
So you're bumping up in proof a little bit, too. You're getting closer to that 100 mark.
Do you know what their definition of a small batch is? Do they state that? Like 1 barrel, 2 barrels, that kind of thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
Not in the information that I read. But that doesn't mean it's not out there somewhere.
Oh, wow. Does it say? Do you know the age on this?
Ooh.
It's a little bit more kind of in your face.
Yeah, I like it.
On the nose, at least, for 95 proof.
I really, my first whiff there, I got a really nice custardy vanilla note.
Custard.
Mm-hmm. I really do.
Custard.
Babe, what's a custardy vanilla note? It's like more of a rich vanilla.
What do you even eat custard with? Like what? Is that like a Cool Whip?
I'm in the middle of a big old donut.
Oh, that's terrible.
Right, honey?
She's even giving a face. I'm not with you on the custard. It smells like a nice, rich confectionery type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what custard it is or tastes like, because I'm not a custard.
I'd even go with like a vanilla buttercream icing, too. Yeah.
Sprinkled with some like oak shavings or something.
I like this. I really do. This nose is reminiscent a little bit of the last year's Mark One. Mark One? I used to work for him. There was a company I worked for.
Mark One?
It was a construction company.
We're talking about bourbon, not construction.
Maker's Mark. How about that?
Okay, that's more like it.
One of their wood finishing releases last year. I don't remember which one, but the one that had the nice vanilla icing type nose. It's almost identical for me.
All right.
In here.
Mm-hmm. Like, no.
Well,
that got really oaky on the palate.
Very. Yeah, it's oak, and more oak. I'm going to take another sip, but right now it's hard to find it. I'm a tad bit disappointed because the nose is really nice, in my opinion, but I had a hard time even finding any notes past oak at this point. I'm working on it.
I honestly can't. It tastes like a young oak to me.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to imagine that it is, even though there's no age statement on it.
Mm-hmm.
This is at $60.
Close to it. Okay.
I think that you get more flavor out of this on the palate for less money and less proof than you do on this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. My second sip, I did get some hints of some dark fruit in there of some sort. Maybe a cola note, possibly, but
I thought you said colon note.
No.
But ask how do you know what a colon tastes like? I could actually see a little bit of a cola situation in here. If Coca-Cola was like really oaky.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie about it. I mean, the oak is dominant.
Yeah.
The oak is dominant. I'm searching for those couple other notes.
Yeah, you have to. I feel
so. All right, let's move on to the last one here, buddy. Let's see what this barrel strength gives us. Right?
Now you're talking my language.
I know. You grabbed that faster than anything else so far tonight. Yeah. All right, this barrel strength, Trent, is 110 proof, and it's going to run you about $75. Okay, so we'll see what this offers. I apologize. I forgot to tell you, which I thought was different, but kind of cool too. Remember I told you this is a high rye here?
Yeah.
This is a weeder, and this is a weeder.
Oh,
so
okay.
I apologize. I didn't tell you that.
Really?
Yeah. This one here has 20% wheat. This one has 22% wheat in the mash bill. Yeah, so it's still a 3 grain.
Even with the wheat in here, it's not sweet really at all. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're right. It saddens me to say that, but yeah.
I'm going to play that on repeat. Can I set that as my ringtone?
What?
I don't have my phone.
So what is your ringtone?
You saying I'm right. Nobody really tells me I'm right ever, so.
You're right a lot of times. Kidding me?
Oh, that's so nice.
I try to be nice once in a while.
All right, this smells pretty phenomenal.
It does.
On the nose.
There's a nice butterscotch note on the nose for me right now. Custardy butterscotch.
Yeah, it's like you got a butterscotch custard. It's like that.
It's nice, though. It really is.
What do you say, 110?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Go first. You gave the... All right.
It's one of those things where the nose is so good and it just doesn't transfer as much as I would hope.
Right.
Again, in this one, there's still not a whole lot of sweetness, and that oak is still like kind of front and center with the palate.
It is.
But I honestly didn't get really much oak on the nose either, so it was kind of surprising.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit jarring, but. And how much was this? $75?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Definitely plenty of oak. I'm searching to find a butterscotch note in there. I think I'm getting. Again, I'm really wanting to find a fruit note in there, but I haven't yet. At this point,
it's sort of like a bitterness that you might find in like a dark chocolate, like a high cacao dark chocolate.
Okay.
Maybe some like a really faint, like a dark cherry or a black cherry kind of note of something, because there's some sweetness in there that is actually quite pleasant when you can kind of sift through all that oak that's up kind of like up front in your face.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it's not as good as I was hoping on the palate based on the nose.
Well, what I'm sensing, Trenton, is a lot of this distillate is youthful.
Yeah.
So it's not a mature oak. It's slap you in the face kind of an oak.
Yeah. And I will say though, I've bought bottles that are around this age that I've had that are worse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah.
Like that are just, you can tell.
Yeah, definitely.
Just on the nose that it's not going to be too good.
Right. And I honestly, I would, like you just said, if you're over somebody's house, somebody poured that, I would drink it without arguing or complaining about anything. Yeah. It's not that at all. We just have to be honest in our reviews.
Yeah.
And that's first and foremost. And so between the small batch and the barrel strength, the oak is the dominant note. But I don't find it to be super bitter.
No.
Or funky oak.
Mm-hmm.
It's just oak.
Yeah.
And that's the dominant notes. That in both of them, unfortunately.
I'm going to kind of go out on a limb, and this might be a little bit surprising for a lot of people, but the lowest proof option is my favorite.
What are the taste?
I think it's very well balanced. It honestly is tough to pick up really any oak in this one, I find, compared to the other two. And especially with the other two being wheaters. I would expect a little bit more sweetness from the wheat. Mm-hmm. But again, when you're dealing with like a youthful oak kind of note, that can be difficult to mask, or it can be difficult for other flavors and other different grains to kind of shine through that bitter oak, because it's so dominant when it's young, right? And even when it's old too. So
I understand that. Yeah.
What would be your first up here? Your favorite?
Well, I'd have to agree with you for sure. It's really not even much of an argument per se. The only reasons I'm saying that is, as spoken before, the oak is just very dominant in both of these two. So,
I would say this is a pretty good bottle for a beginner.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The only downfall is the price. But there's quite a bit going on in there. Yeah. Especially for that proof point.
Yeah, and I also searched online a little bit too, Trent, and I did find where you can possibly get it for the 45 or maybe even a couple bucks less.
Okay.
So, I just always want to be the safe side when I throw out numbers, but I think if you get the right price on it, it might be 42, 44, 45 bucks. It makes it even a little bit more, palatable for the purchase.
If you get this for like 35, 40 bucks, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. Well, I was glad we were able to do it anyways. Yeah. I mean, this is a great story, and much respect to everybody that works for this company, American Freedom Distillery. Yeah. That's the most important thing. One thing too I didn't mention, Trenton, there's some money that's given on every purchase. There's a little bit of money and stuff. No, they use it to help take care of the monument that's there.
Oh, that's cool.
At Ground Zero, so they can
That's keep really
it.
Cool.
So there's a little bit of money that's given. I mean, great company. I'm sure they're great people, and maybe somewhere down the road here, and maybe they have some special releases that we've never tried that have a little bit of age to it, because I think they have a great start here. I think there's a good foundation. Yeah. If we get something maybe a little more age,
I could see it being really good at like the 4-year mark or higher. So.
Hey, that's all we have for you today. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time right down here with Trent and I in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.